5 years after tons of updates from this amazing developer team, Satisfactory is finally making its full release on September 10th. Let's take a look at the most important changes and content additions coming with 1.0. All this time, we haven't seen much of the story, which is understandable, considering this is first and foremost an open world exploration and factory building game. With 1.0, there won't be a campaign mode or anything like that, and players who are not interested in the story can confidently ignore it. But there will now be a story to follow, and that story is more like a background thing that you can discover as you play, and some parts of it will be triggered by completing milestones or research. One of the most anticipated things is the endgame content. They are adding a new phase and tier that's all about quantum technology, which really is as impressive and complex as it sounds. They have added a ton of new buildings and items to craft. A few noteworthy additions are the high-speed Mark 6 conveyor belts, which can handle 1,200 items per minute. The converter can change one resource into another. The quantum encoder makes some of the most complex parts in the entire game, and the particle accelerator can make diamonds out of coal. There's a ton of new complex high-end fixed materials and parts, like dark matter crystals, and even new artificial power shards for overclocking everything in your factory. The goal is to finish up the space elevator project once and for all. There is so much more coming with quantum tech, but it would be too much and complex to cover all of it in this video. With Phase 5 now being a thing, they are making the requirements for completing Phase 4 less ridiculous. They have improved how alternative recipes work, as now there is a separate tab for hard drive research. You can freely hop between drives to inspect available alternative recipes without one drive blocking the next. They are making some changes to the world map. Some of the resource nodes are being moved, added, or removed. They are also spreading out basic resources like iron, copper, and limestone. Because of this, it is best to start the game from scratch, as this world map change could interfere with your factory loadout. Using Mercer spheres, you can build a new storage unit called the Dimensional Depot. This one is pretty cool. Any part or material that you send into this depot gets uploaded into what is essentially a cloud. From there, it can be pulled out into your inventory wherever you are on the map. You can also drop items from your inventory into the Dimensional Depot. Something many will appreciate is that biomass burners now have an input for conveyor belts, so you don't have to refill them manually. There's tons of more stuff, like 2 new liquid fuels being added, drones being able to use different fuel types instead of just batteries, improved building mechanics with better snapping, a new straight building mode for conveyor belts, a ton of new cosmetic options, and much more. That's what I found to be the most interesting stuff. Absolutely feel free to drop your favorite additions in the comments, and a like is as always appreciated if this was helpful.